everyone understood their role and position. In ecosystems, the challenge is aligning critical partners whose vision of who does what may vary dramatically from your own. This means that the notion of winning itself must become more nuanced. Winners in industries dominate from the top. Winners in ecosystems can create and capture value from a variety of positions, and choosing where to play is just as important as what, how, and when to play. So much of what we could comfortably assume in a world of industries is overturned in today's world of ecosystems. But with a change in perspective, we can see new dimensions on the game board that let us ask new questions and craft new approaches. 7 chapters, 7 questions. How can you identify the shifts that will disrupt your ecosystem, turn your partners into rivals, and undermine your ability to win? How can you drive ecosystem disruption to collapse boundaries and upend established competitors? How can you stand your ground against ecosystem giants and even thrive in the face of their attacks? What is the unique advantage of established firms in playing the ecosystem game? How can you predict the timing of ecosystem disruption, when the window of opportunity will open and when it will close? How can you safeguard your role in an ecosystem and avoid the ecosystem trap? How must the way you select and develop individual leaders change in the context of ecosystems? For startups, getting these questions wrong manifests as painful pivots, attempts to reposition themselves in the market, not understanding that the key to success is not a different value proposition, but rather a better approach to aligning the partners that will give life to their offer. For large corporations, getting these questions wrong manifests as endless pilots, attempts at creating new value that succeed in their test site demonstrations, but fail in the commercial market when partners refuse to scale on the terms you had envisioned. For all organizations, the result is hard work by good people that never gains the traction it deserves. More broadly, we have entered an era that calls for organizations to approach their value creation holistically. The rise of stakeholder capitalism compels firms to recognize their roles and responsibilities in their communities and society at large. Rising to meet this challenge and turning this requirement into an opportunity demands an ecosystem-based approach. In the chapters that follow, we will develop a new perspective and a new set of principles for developing effective ecosystem strategies. Our focus is on how to compete, collaborate, and coexist when opportunities and threats no longer respect traditional rules or boundaries. We will dive into illustrative cases that range from familiar tech firms to stalwart incumbents to nimble startups to draw out the meaning and nuance of these principles. The cases will present the facts on how things unfolded. The frameworks will offer a logic for understanding why they unfolded as they did and how to consider alternatives when you find yourself facing similar situations. The plan of the book is summarized in Figure I.1, which is included in the bonus material. Every case that we explore involves firms that were either born digital or that, as incumbents, had already embraced digital transformation. They all will offer lessons, positive and negative, that demonstrate how and why addressing ecosystem disruption entails not just becoming digital, but rather mastering what comes next. Organizations differ in their specifics. For this reason, answers regarding strategy are rarely right or wrong in a universal sense. A strategy that is great for one organization may be disastrous for another. Strategies very clearly are, however, better or worse in terms of consistency, coherence, and fit. What matters then is crafting the strategy that suits your firm and communicating it persuasively enough to drive coherent action across the organization. The tools and methods in this book offer a language for understanding and articulating strategy in an ecosystem setting. They are the product of a decade-long journey through research and practice, tested and validated.